Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I couldn't get the broadcaster to switch again. But anyway, the stream is in the green, so we should be ready to roll Saturday night. And here we go. The U.S. tests a missile that lands in the Marshalls after the Pacific flight. So the United States Air Force launched a unarmed Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile from the Vandenberg base in California on Wednesday. They report the test missile had a 6,000-kilometer flight over the Pacific Ocean to the atoll in the Marshall Islands. That's where all the nuclear tests have been going on. You can't even get near the water out there. An Air Force Global Strike Command statement said such tests demonstrates the capability of intercontinental ballistic missile systems. According to the statement, the test was not a response to the world events or regional tensions. Oh, I'm sure it was. Look, they got a chemtrail in the thumbnail, if you can see that. Let me zoom in on that. Got to have the programming in there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It might be too little fuzzy. You know, if you were another country, another superpower, and you got the United States going all around telling people what they can and can't have, but yet you launch an intercontinental ballistic missile. So how do you think all the other people feel about that? Anyway, I got to take a drink here. Hang on. All right, so not only do we have ICBMs raining down, we also have an aerial spraying expected tonight for parts of Lapeer counties. This is up in Michigan. They're spraying for the Triple E, the Eastern Equine. You know, why are they spraying at night? So they're going to do, and this is tonight, they're doing a nighttime spraying operation over Michigan for mosquitoes. What's the temperature right now in Michigan? Is there even mosquitoes out in Michigan right now? I highly doubt it. So aerial spraying depends on the weather according to the county health department. So the county health department, which is supposed to be taking care of your health, is spraying you with toxic chemicals. And they're doing it at night like a thief. Aerial spraying is being carried out in parts of the state with confirmed human or animal cases of EEE to decrease mosquitoes that carry the potentially deadly virus. I bet you guys have already hit freezing. I bet there's not one damn mosquito over here. They're lying. If you were going to spray for mosquitoes, you would do it when the mosquitoes are out. This is a eugenics program. The area targeted for spraying is Washtenaw County. Is within a 2.5-mile radius of a confirmed animal case in the neighboring Livingston County. A total of 365,690 acres have been treated in the state. So if you guys are up in Michigan, you're getting sprayed, whether you like it or not, at night from the health department. You're being forcibly sprayed. Some more crap here. All right, let's get out of that. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. So this is House Bill 4513. Prohibits harmful electronic or electromagnetic devices. Now, a summary of this House Bill 4513, 4514 as introduced. This bill would amend the provisions contained in Chapter 33. You got to have the 33 in there of the Michigan. Wow, this is out of Michigan too. Penal Code entitled Explosives and Bombs and Harmful Devices to define the term harmful electronic or electromagnetic device and to prohibit the manufacture of use of such a device. These bills are tied, barred to each other. Specifically, the bills would do the following. So they're going to amend the penal code to define harmful electromagnetic devices as a device designed to emit or radiate an electronic or electromagnetic pulse or signal or microwave intended to cause harm to others or cause damage to, destroy, or disrupt any electromagnetic or telecommunication system or device, including a computer or computer network. The bill would also include a harmful electronic or electromagnetic device in the definition of imitation harmful substance or device. Serious impairment of the body function as meaning that term as defined by Section 58C of the Michigan Vehicle Code. This definition will be deleted and replaced with the full definition as contained in the Vehicle Code. So House Bill 4514 would amend the penal code to make it a crime to manufacture, deliver, process, transport, place, or use or release a harmful electronic or electromagnetic device for an unlawful purpose. This would be in addition to the current prohibitions for harmful biological substances. Man, I got a stupid peanut stuck in my throat. Hold on. Cashew or something like that. Almond. I had a whole handful of stuff, and now it's all stuck. All right. Harmful chemical substances or devices and harmful radioactive materials or devices, the penalty would be the same as currently allowed. Excuse me. Penalties range from imprisonment for not more than 15 years and a fine for not more than $10,000 or both to life without parole and a fine up to $40,000. In addition, this bill would specify the penalties would apply whether the violation resulted directly or indirectly in property damage, blah, blah, blah. So, all right, similarity, it would also be prohibited to cause an individual to falsely believe that he or she had been exposed to a harmful electronic or electromagnetic device, just as it is currently prohibited to do so regarding a harmful biological substance or device, harmful chemical substance or device, or harmful radioactive material or device. The penalty for this crime would remain the same for the others as imprisonment, not for more than 5 years, a fine of not more than $10,000, or both. So what they're saying here is if you falsely believe that you've been exposed from some 5G or any kind of microwaves or electromagnetic stuff, that you will be thrown in jail. That's some crazy stuff. Lastly, the bill would delete several redundant provisions. For instance, the act requires a court to impose cost on a person who led others to falsely believe they had been exposed to harmful substances or devices to reimburse a government agency for its expenses incurred as a result of the violation. So what they're telling us, man, is they're telling us even though your health will be affected by the 5G, we'll throw you in jail if you get hurt by it. That's why the insurance companies are not covering the 5G. And this was back in, they got a date on this thing? Where's the date on this? Man, I don't see the date. 5/19/03. But anyway, so they've been setting up for the 5G forever. And this is just another way they can work around all the issues that are going to be going on. Yeah, right here. 4/3. So 03, they knew the 5G was rolling out. So they were setting up all the way back here to cover their asses. And now we see they're rolling it out. Then you get this, a Turkish scientist sentenced to prison for publishing a paper linking pollution to cancer. So a Turkish food engineer columnist at the Human Rights Advocate was sentenced to 15 months in prison last week for publishing an environmental paper that linked pollution to high incidence of cancer in Western Turkey, according to the Science magazine. A court in Istanbul found that Sikh, former deputy director of Food Safety and Agriculture Research Center at the university, had disclosed classified information when he published a result in the Turkish newspaper in 2018. Amnesty International described the sentence as a travesty of justice. So this guy, that works for the health, the health place out here, and a researcher, he tells the truth and he gets thrown in jail. This just tells you where we are. You tell the truth, you get in trouble. Now, what's crazy, I just got this information. This was actually back on September. Oh, this is actually 2018. Damn it. Never mind. Let's get rid of that article. So Texas was rocked by 4 earthquakes on October 1st. So was the New Madrid. So we're getting a bunch of little swarmage going on. If we get time, we'll look at the earthquake maps. I didn't get to vet all these articles, so we're just kind of going through them. So a lawsuit, parents say newborns were illegally seized after they refused the non-mandatory vaccination procedures. A class action lawsuit was filed last week in Illinois against the Department of Children and Family Services, its agents, and several doctors and nurses in the area hospitals, including Silver Cross, University of Chicago Medical Center, Christ Hospital, on behalf of the family whose babies were seized because parents exercised informed consent and refused the vaccines or the antibiotic eye ointment at birth. In Illinois, these procedures are not mandatory. It's completely lawful to refuse what is considered prophylactic treatment. Illinois has both a religious and physiological exemption for refusing medical procedures for your child that are non-life-saving or an emergency. This would include the vitamin K shot given at birth as a guard against bleeding and the eye ointment. Vaccines also considered care are not mandated by law. California mom wins second big settlement against CPS for seizing vaccinated son without warrant. Can you believe this? So they're taking these people's babies because they didn't want a vaccination. I mean, this is where we're going. It's like now you have no control over your own kids. So just insane, man. Well, at least you see some people fighting against this. So what's this say here? Named in the suit as a defendant is child abuse pediatrician Dr. Jill Glick. The industry of child abuse pediatric, man, I cannot talk tonight, is controversial. These are often the doctors hired and paid by child protective agencies who aggressively diagnose accidental injuries as abuse and often accuses mothers of Munchausen syndrome by proxy or narcissistic personality disorder from afar, sometimes without having treated the mother, in order to allow the DCFS or CPS agencies to remove their children. These cases often result in permanent removal and sometimes jail for the parents. See, if you can't even fight for your own children, I mean, come on. You can't have any say in your own children, man, it's time to stand up. It's not, you can't just sit back and let them keep taking control. Here's another article: why vaccine mandates threaten everything this country stands for. Right now we're in the midst of a national feud about whether the government should mandate vaccinations for both adults and children. The main issue appears on the surface to be about whether vaccinations are safe, or whether in some cases they are harmful. But there is a deeper issue that is much more important. We should make medical decisions for your own children, the government, or you as individuals and parents. This is not about the vaccinations at all. Educating the populace about the scientific facts using government forced and legal coercion to mandate what adults must choose for themselves and their children. Educating about the scientific facts, letting adults make choices for themselves and their children. Through most of the 20th century, the average of 78% of Americans trusted the government, while today only 23% of Americans believe the government will do the right thing. They don't do anything right. They think there's too many of us. They're afraid of us. And now's the time to rise up against this crap. So if you don't want somebody sticking you with the needle, you better find out what's going on in your county, your city, and raise hell about it. Otherwise, they're going to have the FEMA camps rolled out. They're going to make you take the shot, or they're going to imprison you. So while we're launching ICBMs over the Pacific, we also got some meteor stuff going on. Fireballs may flash across the night sky as 2 meteor showers peak next week. If the clouds are if the sky's not full of chemtrails, I will try to set up my camera and see if we can pick some up. We did pick them up last year. We got some pretty good photos. I got them over on the Facebook page from last year. So here's a map of the viewing conditions. If they're good, you got the whole, you can see them from pretty much anywhere but Florida. You're probably going to be covered. And then you got the north section up there in the red, not very good. So this will happen on next Wednesday, going into Thursday on the 9th and 10th. And then you got another one, the Orinoid meteor shower. That's what I filmed last year. That goes through the 21st and 22nd, and usually brings about 20 meteors per hour. All right, let's get through it. I'm just trying to get through some of these articles, and we'll jump into all the other crazy stuff. Hodgepodge has a link out there. Let me copy that link, and we'll take a look at it. He's always got the information out there. All right, so we'll put this link that Hodge just put out there. Here's the link he's got here: Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So let me copy that. We'll paste it into the description, into the show links. We'll put it the very first link of the show links, and it'll be there. All right, so we got that. We'll be getting into that map in a minute. So a ship carrying over 12.3 million illegally caught seahorses intercepted off the coast of Peru. What's wild, this is right where the bunker fuel operations were. These guys were probably also, brightening the sky. So authorities in Peru have captured a ship that was carrying a massive haul, 12.3 million illegally caught seahorses worth over $6 million, destined for the Asian markets. So the vessel was about 200 miles off the Pacific coastal city of Callao Monday. Once authorities boarded the ship, they found 55 boxes filled with the dehydrated bodies of the small creatures. Hey, thanks out there, Babu. And weighed over 2,300 pounds. 4 crew members detained. 3 Peruvians, 1 Venezuelan, and they face 3 to 5 years in prison. So these, out of an estimated 55 seahorse species, 11 are classified as vulnerable and endangered. So that's a pretty good lump of money for some seahorses. All right, France to become the first EU country to use nationwide facial recognition ID app. You know, so France had the yellow vest protests and all that. Now they're getting this. France is set to become the first European country to use facial recognition technology to give citizens a secure digital identity, in a move critics say is premature given the privacy stakes. This is so they can tell who you are if you're one of the protesters, a way to track you everywhere you walk. We can't let this thing get any farther. All right, the courts question pipeline builders use eminent domain to take land. Now we're seeing this all over the place. Advocates argue the Russian natural gas pipelines isn't what eminent domain was meant for. One ruling gives states a new way to challenge the pipeline plans. You know, they're displacing thousands and thousands of people by putting in their pipelines, ruining the land. Then if you have an earthquake or something, you destroy more land, all in the sake of money. They don't care about the environment. We also had an earthquake off the San Francisco coast at 3.6. And that was earlier today. Like I said, if we get time, we'll look into them. Now this was pretty cool. I've seen a special on this a long time ago. I like these crystal things. They're pretty crazy. I work with granite and I see all kinds of weird stuff, weird rocks. But check out this cave of crystals, giant crystal cave in Mexico. I mean, these things are huge. See, crystals, man, they're like a recorder. Like they can store information in these crystals. So discovered by chance, the secret Mexican crystals cave is big enough to drive a car through. So these are the selenite crystals. So they're the mine is lead, zinc, and silver mine operated by the largest lead producer. You know, so you can pretty much bet they'll probably wipe this all out. But these are just like huge. Look how big these things are. Look at that guy right there, man. Them are huge crystals. I'm sure these things have all kinds of power. You know, like the ancients probably use these things. But they're just like a tape recorder, man. They can hold information. And these things are probably worth a lot of money for something. So look how big them are, man. That's insane. I just thought that was pretty crazy. All right. We're not going to get into that. I think we'll wait on that. All right, let's just get into some weather stuff. Oh, don't forget, we're getting ready to have the Great Shakeout. I think that's coming this month. October 17th, 2019 drills. No, this is coming from Missouri. And yeah, maybe it is October 17th. The Great American Shakeout. You know, why are they rolling all this earthquake stuff out? And you could pretty much bet California, look, they got 9.44 million people that'll be taking part in this. So that's a lot of people. All right. We don't need to dig into that right now. I had that up for some reason. Let's go ahead and jump into the worldview map. All right, look at this spraying operation over Monaco and over Switzerland. I mean, look at these guys. They're getting wiped out. And then we got a crazy color of aerosols. When I get to the right layer here, look at the color of these things. What is wrong with them? They're like yellow. They were like pollen chemtrails. Big X's. So this is probably one of the most heavily sprayed parts today. And we got a spraying operation where we normally don't get spraying operations. Let me back out so I can tell where I'm at. Check it out. Israel's getting hit with some aerosols for only the 3rd time this year. So they're actually coming all the way down to Egypt. So you got a spraying operation all the way from Egypt up through Israel, through Lebanon. It goes all the way up through Syria, Aleppo, Turkey. And it goes all the way up into, is this part of Turkey right here? I don't know, but it goes way up. Then you got a spraying operation up in the Black Sea. Now you got these guys over here. These guys, the UAE down here, the United Arab Emirates, they're creating a storm. They're going to make it rain in the desert again. And they're also using cloud seeding technologies. Tons of seeding on the storm. They're going to steer it. And when we click the layer, see, this is a big spraying operation. This is a big spraying operation. They're also using the electromagnetics. And we can even show you the company that is producing this storm. Let's go check them out real quick. It's the Climate Global Trading Company. So the cloud seeding technology that they're doing right now is $10 per cubic meter. So they're also doing the natural climate processes for 50 cents US dollars per cubic meter. We take a look at, I was looking at their, where'd the link go? Oh, here we go. I was looking at the results of their last demonstrations around the UAE and all kinds of stuff, and I got it here and found the creation of new element of complex program of climate change in the region. What they're doing, they're steering the cyclone. So they're steering the winds to steer the cyclone, just like we see over the Sahara Desert, how the dust is getting blown our way. Guess what? They're steering it. They're steering the jet stream winds. They're steering the atmospheric river. And they're making it rain in the desert. So back in February, May of 2019, they had the implementation of measures in 2019 on climate change in the region was started to set preparation measures of the area of active impacts on climate processes in the region on restructuring the atmospheric processes. They're talking about the atmospheric river. So they steered the atmospheric river all the way from, you know, you got a pretty good sized atmospheric river right here. They steered all the way up in to the Iran there. They made it rain. They made it rain so bad in Iran. Iran was 90% underwater when they did this program back earlier in the year. We documented all of it. So this stuff is going on all over the place. This is all created. This is a man-made cyclone. And we'll take a look here. Look, they're spraying through Libya. Goes all the way down into Chad. You got spraying. We got spraying over here in Sudan. I mean, you actually got spraying all over. See, we don't cover this a lot, so we don't look at it. Plus, it's hard to see the spraying operations. You got to really zoom in to see them, but they're out here. They're out here almost daily. But they're just kind of hard to see. Like, you got a spraying operation over Morocco. Several places in Morocco. It goes all the way up into the Mediterranean Sea. These spraying operations are everywhere. You can go over here by Dakar. Spraying operations, they are using dust as a weapon, the Sahara dust. And you got spraying operations all along the coast. I know I had a better layer where it showed it a little better if I get it. If I can find the right layer. Now I don't remember, I looked at too much stuff. Alright, let's go ahead and just let me go through here real quick, take quick looks at stuff here. What do we got burning in Australia? Look at the color of that. Wow. Wow, you can almost see the fire right there. It looks like they're burning oil or tires. So here's where it first started. Look at that smoke. That is some wild color smoke. So you had 3 zones that caught on fire. It's in the conservation park, like it always is. Just kind of checking around. We got some spraying operations over the south. Remember, they were been spraying for days over here by New Zealand. Look at the atmospheric river. It's been pulled right up over New Zealand, and now they're getting blasted. I mean, that's not natural. That's not a natural atmospheric river. They don't go in straight lines. See, they should be all curly. When they're not messing with the atmospheric rivers, they should be curly. But look, this is being pulled directly up over New Zealand and straight right into Australia. The military out here by Guam is creating another storm. It'll probably go north of Guam, then it'll head up towards China and all them places. We'll be watching that here over the next coming days. Got more fires up in the north in Australia. I know I'm jumping around. I really wasn't real prepared tonight, so we're just kind of going with the flow. More atmospheric steering down here in South America. Argentina. Been seeing a lot of bunker fuel operations out here off the coast of Chile. And I think there's maybe a few ships right here, nothing too big. We got spraying from the Dominican Republic all the way down into South America. So we got aerosols. They're trying to conjure up a storm over here. South of Cuba, the Cayman Islands, that's where they're trying to conjure up the storm. You got this blast wave of dust coming in. So we're going to have to see how this all combines. But they're definitely spraying the storm like big time. So they're trying to set the storm up, even though it's not coming in on the weather maps as any kind of tropical depression or anything, but they're definitely working on it. Got a spraying operation over the Gulf of Mexico. All right, I'm just kind of looking. I didn't get to look at all. We got spraying operations up in Toronto, Montreal, all up into the north. Heavy aerosols. You got the big, thick. Look at that thing. You can even see his lights. You can see it goes white, red, white, yellow, red. That's like his lights blinking. So, or something, man. Look at that. It's got the colors mixed in the chemtrail. That's pretty crazy. I don't even know if I've seen that before. Spraying over Quebec. So tons of spraying up north. Look over here at Michigan. They're getting bombarded. Ohio. bombarded. So here's where all the heavy aerosols, you got the big X out here. Bunch of X's in the sky. X marks the spot. That's where the moisture's coming. So they're spraying all out ahead of this system. It's like a giant cyclone. Got some microwaves going on here in Oklahoma. Looks like we got some fires or something going on in Colorado there. We got some aerosols in Nebraska going right up through Wyoming and all the way up into Edmonton. We got a new spraying operation off the coast of Portland. Big time. Big time spraying operation off the coast of Washington. So this is huge. They're setting up for the next system. Let's check the layer, see if they've loaded yet. Looks like we got some bunker fuel in there to go along with it. Look at the color of this stuff, man. It's not even the right color for clouds. Keeping the blockade going on there in California. Let me just add that layer, see if we see any bunker fuel. All right, here. So let's see what we got. Ooh, look at this monster bunker fuel operation out here. All these long lines. Where are we at here? We're right where they're going to pull that storm up into the Bering Sea. Let me see if I can see these. Oh yeah, man, that's a monster bunker fuel operation. They're getting ready to change the weather patterns. Look, they're over here. They're right here off the coast of the Kamchatka coast, Kamchatka Islands. So they are back, and they are back big time. We've got tons of bunker fuel being deployed out here. I mean, look at this. This is so blatant. Look, they're all going into a target zone. They're trying to spin something up right here. So mega ship tracks. Mega ship tracks right here below the Aleutian Islands. That's a mega. Look at that. It covers thousands of miles. Tons of ships. That's crazy. Let's see if we can spot any more going on. You know, we've been seeing quite a bit over here off the coast. They're not coming in too good. Might see a couple, but not really good enough to really see them. Might want to go check up here by the UK. They've been getting all the weather and all the storms. We got maybe a few up here by Greenland again. And let's check around Australia. So yesterday in this area, there was literally just a few. I see 1, 2, 3. So like 3 ships, maybe a couple small ones there. But you know, that's yesterday, and then today. What a change a day makes. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, I can't even count them all. They're everywhere out here. And then you got a second batch of them coming in behind the first batch. So that's pretty crazy. All right, let's go ahead and go check the radars. We'll check the mimic map too real quick. So here's that storm they're creating over by Guam. Hagigibus. I don't know how to pronounce that, but see, they're not showing any kind of disturbance there by Cuba, but they're trying to create one. All right, so here we are looking at the atmospheric river, the river of the sky. This is what's being steered all over the place. We got some kind of weird anomaly there over Australia. Look at that. A little like a little laser beam was shot, and then look what happens to the atmospheric river. It bulges out. So they're hitting it. That's right where the fire zone is. That is right where the fire zone was. Check this out. So did the fire create the atmospheric disturbance, or did some kind of weapon cause it? I mean, look at the smoke, man. That's just crazy looking. We may have to go check that on the RAM slider. All right, let's take this over to the, probably got to use the Japanese satellite here. Now that we got the internet, we can probably check this out pretty good here. So let me just see if we can get this to load. Let's see if we can spot the fire starting. So where are we at here? We are basically right there. Yeah, so we're pretty much in the right area. Now we gotta wait on it to load. Probably need to put this on every 30 minutes. So now we'll be able to see if this baby was started at night. We got to wait on it to load. So while that's loading, let me just take another quick look at the atmospheric river. I mean, we spotted that anomaly and it lines up. Yeah, it's pretty close. It looks more a little bit to the east of the fire zone. But who knows? This map could be a little bit off the way it's laid out. See, they're still blocking any moisture from getting into California. Then over here is where they're steering the atmospheric river up to create the cyclone up here. Look at that atmospheric river just going straight up into the UK. This thing should be swirling around. It's actually swirling the wrong way. It's being blocked. You also have steering going on in South America. Right done with that. Whoa, what did I just see? Look, we got chemtrails right where the fire started. Look at that. A chemtrail plane goes flying through here. Let me back this out. Oh, you got chemtrails going both ways. This thing's going way too fast. Let me slow it down. So I'm not seeing the fires on here. I may have to change this to every hour, or yeah, every 60 minutes. We'll see what we get. Oh, we got bunker fuel. We got ship tracks down here south of Australia. Look at all them bunker fuels. So we got aerosols being deployed. We got bunker fuel being deployed down in Australia. The fire must really whip up quick. It's like right in there, I think. And then we got another, something shoots across, jets across the screen really fast. It looks like something, a flume coming out of this mountain here. Let me try to add a few more images here. Now we might be able to pick it up a little better. I've never been able to load this map on a live show. There's the fire. There's the fires. Hell, I couldn't even get this map to load not being online. Yeah, now we're getting the fires. Doing it every hour. We're picking up that fire that starts right here. Look at that. And then it explodes into a storm. You got bunker fuel being deployed in the south. So Australia's getting weather warfare like crazy right now. You got a spraying operation that I couldn't even see just to the northeast there. All right, come on, load up. Might take it a minute to load. Like, this is a massive file, man. These things are massive files. But you can really see a lot of stuff with this. I might have to hit the play button. I don't know the shortcut. There it goes. We got aerosols up to the northeast, and then our fire starts right there. So this is a good way to watch the weather warfare right here, because it showed the bunker fuel operations big time. In fact, let's jump over to a different satellite and see what's going on over in the Pacific. We could probably catch the ICBM missile. So they would have shot that thing all the way over. It might be hard to pick this up, but yeah, the big bunker fuel operation is going to be out there. Let's just see what happens here. We'll see if this will load. Yeah, this satellite, this is the GOES 17, and the Japan satellite are hellacious resolution. But I couldn't use it before because my internet was too slow. Now we can use it. Why does it not give me a full preview here? There we go. Now it's going to start loading. Oh, wow. I can see them. There's tons of them up here. Look at this. Look at all these ships out here. Look at all that bunker fuel being deployed to create a blanket over the Arctic to melt the ice to get to the resources. The ICBM was a test launch from California, and it landed in the Atoll Islands where they've done all the nuclear tests. It's some beautiful islands down to the east of Guam, and it's all just like a nuclear test site for the missiles. Yeah, this is nice being able to run this, because this thing is so detailed, man. We'll catch all kinds of crazy stuff on this map. So it's really, it takes a long time to load this baby. I mean, We cut down the frames a little bit just on this one, just so we can get it to load quicker. I mean, look at the resolution on that. That's insane. So tons of bunker fuel to none. Look at that. They all just cranked them up at the same time. You got 2, 3, and then you got a whole nother line that we can barely see coming. So here is some weather warfare going on in the Pacific, like big time. Look at them cranking out the clouds. Look at the height on that storm that they're creating with the bunker fuel. That is a massive, and every time we see these monster bunker fuel operations, we're talking it's going to make a change that we're going to be able to notice, like whether it's going to be getting cold. So I'm trying to see if I can figure out where the atoll islands are. I think they're about right here. I think it's these islands. Hey, thanks there, Carolyn. Wow, thanks. That will definitely help. Hey, this is the only CGI we got to work with. That's just silly. Be nice if we could catch the explosion, but it's just taking forever to load. You know, we may have to look on Google Earth on for the atoll islands. It may be these way down here. I'm pretty sure if that's Guam, right? It's hard to tell because we're on such an angle. Usually if I shrink it down, it'll load a little quicker. We'll give it a try. Yeah, bunker fuel is probably the most toxic emission on the planet. In fact, I'm positive it is. Just like a cruise liner ship that you go on your vacations in, them ships put off 1 million cars a day worth of emissions. So, you know, the emissions it puts out per day, it's the same as 1 million cars. What are they doing about that? Nothing. Yeah, this is probably overdid my fast internet here. Let's try the Go 16. No, the bunker fuel is out of the ships. That's why we call them ship tracks. They're out of the it's the leftovers of refining fuel. It's real thick, nasty sludge from refining the fuel. It's like the leftover of making fuel, and it's so thick and nasty that they have to heat it to get it to burn. They have to like pre-burn it, preheat it, and then they can use it for fuel, and it just pumps out nasty stuff, man. Like here, just look up bunker fuel. Or you could look up so like here's some right here. That's what it looks like if you're on the ship. You don't want to breathe that stuff. It's like so toxic for people. So bunker fuel is some nasty, nasty emissions. Super bad for the ocean, super bad for the sky. It's bad for everything, but yet, you know, they don't do a damn thing about it. All right, let's get out of this. Let's check the radars real fast, and we'll probably call this a show. Let me get to the radars. Little hefty little storm there in southern Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma. That don't even look natural, whatever that is. We'll let it load here. Said 67% back then. I don't know what you mean by that. I didn't see the comment before that. Man, that don't look right. Look at that. Okay, the storm comes zooming in. Got the chemtrails in there. And it just kind of squares off. So it's kind of, see the microwaves. Look at that. They just cut it. They cut the system right off. Look, we got a 90-degree turn on the rain formations. There's that storm they're trying to work up down here in the Caribbean. They're just stewing up. We got a little spin up over here. That's going to be getting hit by the dust. That's probably the rain that's coming in for the East Coast here. We got some ground-based generators going on in Colorado. Look at this long straight line. Look at that. That's perfectly straight line. I can tell you right now, that is not nature making this 1,000-mile long straight line. That is perfectly straight. You know, if this is a cold front, it's going to be like in a circle, like a bow, not in a perfectly straight line. Let's check the radars. Oh, I wanted the whole map. What happened here? Go back. All right, let's see what this thing's panning out. See what kind of frequencies we got being blasted. So they have all the radars turned off where they want the rain to go. See that? See how they're all turned off as the rain comes? Turn them off. Let the rain come through. Look, they're all turning off. Then when they want to push it off, they crank them up. Look at that. It's like clockwork. Every radar is off where the rain is going. Turned way down. Let the rain flow through. That as the rain comes by, we'll crank the radars back up. We got all kinds of flashing going on in Colorado where it looked like that ground-based generator was producing moisture. We got some weird stuff going on in Mississippi with the radars. That's pretty, that thing is really pushing some power there. Let's zoom in on that one. That one looked like it was really pulsing out down here. I don't know if I hit the right one. We'll find out. Yeah, man, they really turned the thermostat down here over the last couple days. It went straight from summer right into, it went from above average to below average temperatures. Same thing they did last year. It's like they don't have fall figured out. They don't have spring figured out. It's just one or the other. Now check this radar. It's creating its own rainstorms. Look at that. The radar is creating the storms. So just watch. Look, you're getting little vortex spin ups all from the radar. The radar just created all that. Let's check out the base velocity loop. Hey, Super Dave. Everybody out there, look at this thing pulsing. Look, there's no really wind formation. There's no incoming and outgoing. It's just microwaving. I don't think I've ever seen a radar not have incoming and outflowing winds, but it's creating its own weather systems. That is pretty wild right there. Wow, look at this, man. They really have the microwaves pulsing on this thing. Heavy. That's what I thought when I seen it from way out. Look at that thing just flopping all around. The purple's the microwave. You notice there's no purple on the graph because it's registering way higher than the radar is to be picking up. This isn't an upgraded radar. This is the old. This isn't the phased array radar yet. Look at how them things just blew up out of nothing. Yeah, man, it's weird. It's just like a radar-induced pop-up storms. Wow, look at that. So yeah, they bubbled up the sky, you know. They bubbled the sky up within a 50-mile radius and it created all these weird little pop-up rains. Like they had tons of outflow in them. Look at it, this is boiling. Yeah, the lightning definitely goes from tower to tower. You can spot it. But yeah, this is really a weird signatures of how these things are. Look at the outflow. And like, I don't even know if there's clouds there. Well, there is now. All right, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and call this a show. I want to thank everybody out there that shares this information out. Keep on waking up the people, because, man, it's just going to only get worse. All right, guys. Much love. We'll see you tomorrow night. Oh, 16-day forecast tomorrow. Anyway, guys, we're going to play a song called Rise. Then I'll come join you in the chat. I'll go over to the D Live and I'll give away the treasure chest over there. And then we'll call it good. Anyway, much love all. Be safe out there. No fear. Eyes to the skies. Got to see the lies. See if I can get this thing to change.